Well, welcome, Mo,
Thank you. Thank you for having me,
and
Dylan.
and welcome to our guests to another episode of Candy Between Company. This is our first travel episode. I've got a big bear of a man over here, Mohammed Mirghahari.
Close.
Give it to me again.
Mirghahari.
Mirghahari. Mohammed Mirghahari um, has has graced us with our presence, and because we're both trying to really give our most bearliness, I have a beautiful bear station behind us. We were very lucky to have Honey Paws here. And Mo, if you would do us the pleasure of just telling our guests a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Jersey born and raised, New Jersey's finest. Went to a small little university there called Seton Hall. Worked for the Department of Defense for a number of years. Got out, live in sunny LA now. Be able to be good friends with you has been the experience here in LA, and traveling the world, of course, having delicious candy when I can. Tell a little bit, enjoy myself a little bit of candy when I can. But very excited to be here and talk about candy amongst company.
That's great. That's great. That's the type of attitude we want over here. And it sounds like you've got quite a history with candy. Do you want to tell us, was candy welcome in the household? What were sort of the flavor du jours when you were growing up?
So there was candy was welcome, right? I think growing up, obviously Halloween would expose you to a lot of candy, and my parents were immigrants to this country, and Halloween was a wild holiday because you go to strangers' houses and you get free candy. And this was before the crazy public service commercials of there's razors in every candy bar. But yeah, no, I mean, just not a lot of it because you get cavities allegedly, but I don't think that's why. But then you also get the handful of was it the corn on the cob candy, the little the little
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm a huge fan of that.
ooh.
I'm also going to stop you and let you know the cavities are real. I may have been once again also to sort of give my bona fides for starting this podcast. I may have had 7 or 8 cavities on my baby teeth.
Whoa.
Yeah. Talked to my parents about that one. Cranberry juice instead of milk growing up in the bottle. Don't know if that was a good idea. So definitely got a lot of candy, definitely got a lot of sugar. Not the best for the dental work. Um, but very good for spirits, high
Sure.
spirits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today your candy intake, do you like fall towards one way or another? What do we do here?
I did chocolate, of course. Chocolate's the go-to.
What's a staple?
But like some of the candy of childhood comes around once in a while. You have a little pixie sticks if you really want to take it back. Or they used to have the candy cigarettes. That was one of my favorites, but they stopped making them. I think don't want to
They-
support smoking. But Laffy Taffy, not Atlantic City Taffy. So New Jersey's known for saltwater. New Jersey taffy, and it's not very good.
And I was gonna go with the Jersey candy. I ended up not, but it wasn't gonna be. What was the taffy?
Saltwater all
There
throughout the
was one
shore.
there was one spot though that you particularly didn't like, right?
Atlantic City.
Yeah,
The
Atlantic
Atlantic
City.
City.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, which is actually fun fact where you and I met.
it is. So,
At the Trump Casino and Resort when it was in receivership.
yes.
Good times, good times. Well, this is the part where I sort of let you know that there's a candy I've selected for you here. Um, it's hidden inside of what was our hungry hippo. What is currently Fred or Frederica. We will be taking name suggestions because we have yet um, to settle on a name. But have certainly settled on the fact that he, she, it is adorable.
Why not call it Moon Dang? Isn't that the hippo of the moment right now?
That is the hippo of the
The
moment
hippo
right
of the
now.
moment.
But we're trying to not just be the podcast of the moment.
That's
And
true.
so, the news cycle is short. And while we do love the Moo Dang, laughing hippo, baby hippo, this little one's going to outlast it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to dive right in here.
Should I close my
You
eyes?
don't need to close your eyes. I'm going to let you know that I picked this candy because of how multi-textured, multi-layered, how it exhibited some firmness, but also some softness and sweetness, of which you're a strong man, but also a sweet man.
Polly. I have never seen this candy before.
I also have never seen this candy before. It's got a taste of chocolate, a rock, butter toffee, and vanilla. Polly.
Hmm.
Never heard of it. First impressions?
Cool packaging. Looks very European. What's made in Sweden? Yeah, that would do it. Interesting. The Swedes are known for Swedish fish, I believe.
Yeah, it's a really gummies across the board. So
Yeah.
this is a little left field.
And this is like the random chocolates you might see at IKEA at the end, but I don't think this is from IKEA. But IKEA has those weird Swedish chocolate, and this is all in Swedish. So
We could actually be having drugs and not know it.
You could.
You know, so I
Stay tuned for the the afters of Candy Between Company.
okay,
Does it excite you?
it does because it's something new. I've never had this. Right? You know, obviously the chocolate we get in the States and the imported stuff of Lindt and Cadbury.
yeah.
But this is Polly. Hey, Polly.
Let's go, Polly.
But who's Polly? Do we have an idea? Is it a little Swedish girl that grew up?
It's possible that the candy doesn't want to be defined by traditional relationships,
That's true.
and it's just of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not Swedish. So this is a little bit of a section where, look, we are jumping onto a fad here, okay? Much like the baby hippo. It's our candy ASMR section. So I'm going to be quiet, and if you could maybe about 12 inches away from your microphone, kind of where you are there, just crinkle the bag for you. I think that was done very well. I'm going to give it a go myself. I will say that I think we got a lot of your personality there, because some people who were just told to crinkle a bag would just crinkle a bag. But no, you're an outside the box thinker and you're a rule breaker. You dipped the bag, you shook the bag, you tested every opportunity there. And I could see you were about to tear the bag open if I hadn't said, hey, it's my turn.
I was going to. I
Yeah.
got a little excited for the Polly.
I'll still let you do the tear open.
Can we put Federico's head back on?
Yeah,
I feel like
we would say
this
yes.
is
A little decapitated.
nope, nothing else.
Nothing else
Just making
in
sure. Just making
I do have a little hidden something, which if we want to dive into it. Sounds like one of those didgeridoos. All right, why don't you go ahead and tear into this?
All right, here we go. Now, should I go with the pull open or the tear?
You know, what I've found these days is they make bags so sturdy that the pull open rarely works. So you can, my hunch is to always try for the pull open. But now that I have a candy podcast and I'm opening a lot of these bags, I'm finding it very difficult to just open the bag.
So you don't think I'm strong enough to open this bag?
I mean, the forearms are big, but is there a lot of muscle in there? I don't know.
Ooh, ice. Honey bear. I feel insulted here. All right, well, now
Give it a go.
now when Polly goes all over the place. Yeah. Oh, come on.
All right. Look, strong man over
Work
here.
those straps.
This is Jersey.
Right here.
This is Jersey strength.
Right here. Now, if I had the tracksuit, it would be full.
Yeah. We can do another one.
Okay. So
Pop it open. Yeah,
do it.
take one out.
Is it a one bite or
I think we like to start with sort of one bite and just give me your first impressions. You throw it. They're tiny enough. You throw one in there.
I'll do a second one because this is interesting.
It's interesting.
It's a little bit like a turd. Little dog.
Little dingleberry.
Yeah, a little bit,
like
little
maybe
bit.
somebody needs to hydrate. He's contemplating, but I think he likes it.
I do like it. It's just unique.
Tell us about it.
The chocolate's delicious. Chocolate's good. Standard. The butter toffee is what's interesting. It's chewy. I don't really taste the vanilla. It said it's vanilla. But the butter toffee's strong. Do you remember Rolos?
Yeah.
A little bit like a Rolo, but
Yeah.
Swedish.
Yeah.
So probably drives a Volvo. You know, whoever made this
It's
candy.
very responsible.
Very responsible.
And you can feel that in the butterscotch interior. Let me tell you, what I think Moe's getting at is really at the heart of what we discussed before, which is the Swedes are really known for their gummies. And the interior is a little gummier than you might expect. And it doesn't really have,
I mean,
It's like taffy with elasticity that is,
I don't want to spill this, but look at that stretch. Look at that. Look at that. See that?
very impressive.
It's a strong stretch. I'm pulling.
So potentially good for rock climbers, where if you get stuck and you need an extra rope,
Poly's it.
Poly's it. Did you taste a little bit of the Iraq?
I don't know what a rack is.
So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because one of our sections is one fun fact. It's one good fact. This fact isn't that good, so I'm going to go with one fun fact. Well, who am I to decide? You might think it's a good fact. Iraq, I knew to be a anise flavored alcohol. But then when I looked it up, it turns out it's a predominantly Sri Lankan but Southeast Asian distilled spirit, predominantly distilled from the flowers of coconuts. So, and can also be distilled from some of the local fruit in different countries, and it gives more of a rum taste. So while I would have expected more of an anise taste, which is Iraq, Iraq is more of a rum taste, and Iraq is sometimes spelled Iraq, but not to be confused with Iraq.
Now you're saying I taste the rum taste.
Yeah, it tastes a little rum taste,
now
right?
I taste it.
Yeah, I had never had Iraq, but I
Yeah.
did taste a little bit of rum taste, which is a nice little essence between the chocolate and the butterscotch.
Yeah. It's a nice little hint.
It's a nice little hint.
It's a lot of flavor though. Chocolate, Iraq, butter toff. I still don't taste the vanilla. So they
Yeah. Well, let me really get in there for one more vanilla.
I taste the rum more than the vanilla, if there is any vanilla.
You know what? It's very possible that just like laying a primer down of paint, the vanilla is like what creates the palette that ties it all together. Because all of these flavors play well with vanilla.
They do.
But you're right, the vanilla does blend out.
It's not there.
Would you recommend this to others?
I would actually. It's tasty. It's a nice little heavy bag, right? You got it's the metric system, 130 grams. So let's see what my math is. Is that 4 to 6 ounces? I mean, so yeah, I think so. It's
Okay.
different. I don't know if you could get this and have a whole bag of it. Like, I think that'd be a little.
It'd be tough to have a whole bag of it,
Yeah.
which honestly is a plus.
Yeah. Or minus. Like, if you're having a bad day and you just want to.
If you're having a bad day, you can probably have a whole bag of it.
Yes. But it's different. I mean, I like it. I just, something I didn't expect.
Oh, while you're chewing it, I'll ask you that one of our other sections is mouthfeel score.
I've had worse things in my mouth.
You heard it here first. You never doubted it, but you heard it here first.
It is a bit chewy, though. Like, you can't pop one in and all of a sudden someone asks you a question. You're got a few seconds there.
Yeah.
So, but it's.
Do you like to? Is that how you base your like I'm going to be eating candy in the middle of a conversation, so I do need to be able to respond immediately.
I feel like I would have one and you would immediately ask me something. And
Yeah.
I'd
So
struggle.
just give me a 1 to 10. 10 being the best mouthfeel score you got.
Oh, mouthfeel. We're talking just mouthfeel?
Just mouthfeel.
Just mouthfeel. Just not hand stuff. Just mouth stuff.
Not hand stuff.
Okay.
Just mouth stuff.
I'd be like a 6, just because it's a little too chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I think 6 is a fair rating, but I think I'm going to bump it up to 8 just because it's so interesting. But it wasn't interesting in a bad way. For me, it was interesting in a good way.
I like that.
Do you have time to try one more candy with us?
For you, I always have time.
Okay, so we're gonna pull this delicious, interesting poly off the table.
I think you should feed Federico and put it back in there and see how much is left. There you go.
Now,
A smoke machine.
now this one I went with. This one I've actually had sitting on my shelf for about a year now, so I hope it's still good. I think it's still good. Feels stabilized.
Expiration dates are conspiracy.
I think so too. But I've been very excited to try it. Now, I know your parents immigrated, and where did they immigrate from?
Iran.
Iran. Now, this happened to have been purchased in Turkey.
Oh, not the same country, but
Not the same country.
Yeah, just
But the Turkish Delight was created by the Ottoman Empire, which also hosts both Iran and Turkey, and it's a pomegranate and pistachio.
that sounds delicious.
It sounds delicious, but it sounds like also I like pomegranates and I like pistachios. Will I like a pomegranate pistachio candy? I'm a little less certain, but I'm excited to try it.
I've had many a Turkish Delight. I've never had this flavor. So
Wow,
interesting.
that's
to
pretty.
see.
That psychs me up.
So-
Because you know what? I knowing that you spent a lot of time and Subway is an important part of the family. And when I asked you if you wanted a Subway sandwich, you said absolutely not. I was a little afraid, figuring maybe you've had enough Turkish Delights in your life.
So, just to drop a little knowledge on our listeners here, New Jersey has the highest Turkish population in the United States.
No kidding.
And North Jersey has the centralized population. So there's a whole area where it's, excuse me, a whole area where it's Turkish restaurants, Turkish bakeries, Turkish shops, and a lot of the places they actually make it fresh. So you would get Turkish Delight there. So yeah, it's let's see how it tastes, because like I said, that's an interesting combo. But obviously, pomegranates and pistachios are synonymous with most Middle Eastern cultures, and
Yeah.
let's see if the two strong flavors come together.
Oh, I'm gonna be quiet because this is nicer than I thought it'd be. It also feels nice. All right. You wanna shake a little of that? You wanna get in it?
Shit, you went side to side with a little up and down. It doesn't sound as good.
Feel the.
Sounds like combing my hair. What are you
Yeah,
doing there?
yeah. That's what you know.
We should have like a little fun facts bar right here, like fun facts turkey.
Well, I'll tell you what, we will have a fun facts graphic over this. This is a very high production value show over here. And
So I'm gonna put my hands here for whatever it's gonna say.
and you will be one of our guests who no doubt, because you're so knowledgeable, but brought a fun fact for us here. This makes me think they're probably still good. That it was
It's probably pretty sealed well.
yeah.
Is there? Let's see. Is there an expiration? There is an expiration. It was June of 21 of this year.
Oh, my God.
Semantics.
But
We're within 6
we're
months.
for sure.
You've definitely had worse things in your mouth.
Yeah,
Something
for
expired.
sure.
Yeah.
I will tell you, much like, say, the chicken Big Mac, what they show you in the advertisement versus what you get when you unwrap it. Not the advertisement looks a little.
Could have been a little cold where you stored it. Could have shrank a little.
Could have.
Shrinkage is real.
Shrinkage is real. Let's. I mean, but I'm excited.
Actually, you smell it before you picked it up.
It smells really good. Definitely pomegranate forward.
It's tasty.
10 out of 10.
And that coloring. That's actually really good.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be sure about the combo. It's not too pomegranate forward, but there's a strong pomegranate. I mean, it's definitely even more of an essence of pomegranate than pistachio. We'll see if that's the case on number 2.
Actually really good. A little messy.
A little messy, but I don't think at home you'd be delicately cutting through half of it. I think you'd just be popping it. It'd be a little less messy. They are going a little. The reason why it's more pomegranate forward than pistachio forward is, if you can see this in here, but it's really went a little light on the pistachio.
Pistachios are expensive.
Pistachios are expensive.
Yeah, it's a commodity.
Now,
I think my third piece, just to be sure that we're.
give us a mouthfeel score. Just describe it as it tears through. It tells our audience what it's like.
You get it's covered in sugar, right? Powdered sugar. So you get that first
Never a bad sign.
base taste. And then when you bite, if I just pop it in whole, it's not as chewy as the poly. It's much easier to bite on, and the pistachios are a nice little treat as you bite into them. It's good. This is a 10 out of 10, I would say, even in the mouth.
So for sort of gelatinous things, there can be some squishiness or there can be like a little too much rebound. This is just a real nice density. This just allows you to sort of cut through. It's not too sticky, which could be because it's past its expiration date, but I think it's just
No, it's
probably
generally Turkish Delight isn't sticky, but it's also that's why it's covered in powdered sugar for that reason.
I would you could bring this, you could be a guest at anyone's house, bring this and be a hit.
Now, if we just had some delicious Persian tea with it, because that's actually what you're supposed to eat it with,
Oh wow.
you'd even pop more because of the flavor of the tea with this.
Do you dip?
No, you have it with the
Okay.
tea.
Now we were together a few weeks ago, filming a little show we're putting together called War Stories, where American military and government heroes like Moe over here, and some that aren't necessarily heroes but have been in the military or government, sit around a campfire and swap funny stories. Sort of the war stories of the shenanigans, the hooligans, the letting off steam, you know, the lightness that is found in the dark over there. And one of the things you mentioned was in your time in Iraq, the uh, was it that people were smuggling in this one pistachio treat from Iran? That tell me that again, because that was one of the also things where I went, oh, I'm going to have some of this, but boy, whatever you were discussing sounded incredible.
It was Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
And yeah, people were getting Iranian pistachios because they're the most expensive pistachios that you could find in the world, and they're the freshest. And they're flavoring. I will bet these are probably not Iranian pistachios, but people were smuggling them because they're very expensive, right? They're about I don't know now, but at that time, probably $50-$100 a kilo. And they were just trying to send it back. Some people were like selling it by the cases to then get back here in the States. So it's actually, but they're also really hard to find because the market on them so tight. So once the people got them, they were trying to smuggle them, trying to send it back to their family. And then just some people just loved eating them. Like it was a harder thing to find in a war zone than alcohol or anything else. So it was always interesting to see. And I grew up with it. So it was always funny to you're spending this much money.
Yeah.
But they're good. I mean, and it's beyond delicious.
Well, I gotta say, real excited to hopefully one day try some very expensive Iranian pistachio.
Yeah. Well, we're in LA. I'm sure we can find some at some of the
Yeah, we
Iranian
gotta dig.
stores.
We gotta dig.
We'll get some fresh.
All right, wonderful. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on Candy Between Company,
Thank you.
taking a bet on us over here, being a pretty early guest.
Yeah.
I hope it didn't disappoint.
Not at all. Two delicious candies. One, let's bring the OG out here, right? We got Polly.
Yeah. Got to rep the Polly.
So we got Polly, and then we got the Coastal Turkish Delight. So I don't know. I think the Turks did a better job though with their sweets. Yeah. So
Well, that's also bias speaking, but I will say if it were a toss up between the two, I'd probably lean towards this Turkish Delight, but I'm happy I got to try both. So we will leave you with that, and hope that, one, thank you for joining us, and two, hope you find a little bit of sweetness in your day. Thank you. Bye.